Hello everybody, this is a video to encourage you to read the China Trilogy, the three books that I wrote covering China, as well as my first book that I actually wrote, which is a English a grammar guide, which is really wonderful, which I've never promoted before, but I'm going to do it today. We're going to start off with my first book, 44 Days Backpacking in China. And the reason you should buy this to read for yourself or give as a gift, either ebook or in print, you can get it on Amazon, both versions, is that it's actually for my first real book, and outside of my little English book, it's actually sold quite well, and the reason it's sold quite well is because it's chock-a-block full of everything you would ever want to know about China. I mean, history, culture, food, clothing, languages, minorities, geology, geography, infrastructure, politics, tourism, travel. It's got 125 photographs that I personally took myself. It's got maps, itineraries. I mean, it's really a fun book, and in some places it's quite funny. I traveled to the 6 poorest provinces in China because I couldn't believe what we had discovered. You know, we lived in China from 1990 to 1997, which were crazy buckaroo days when it was just absolutely wild. And then came back in 2010, and I was just literally blown away by how much the country had changed and the people had changed. And so I had to go. I thought, well, I'm in Beijing, I need to get out and travel. So I traveled to 6 of the 6 poorest provinces in China, including the Tibetan Plateau, and I got to get into Tibet. And so it was just an amazing experience, and I thought I was going to do a blog, and it was so fascinating. I ended up writing this book. As you can see, it's been blurbed by quite a few people, and it's just a wonderful travel log, geopolitical, political. You will be an expert in just about anything and everything concerning China, outside of the real intricacies of living and working there, which happens in the following books. Anyway, highly recommended, and I hope you will take advantage of it. Next is China Rising, and this was after I wrote. It has an introduction by Pepe Escobar. Thank you, Pepe. And after I wrote 44 Days Backpacking in China, I realized that I had made some errors about the Mao era. I made some historical errors, said some things that were wrong about the Mao era in 44 Days, and I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to understand the Chinese people and the Chinese nation until I understood my own country, my own culture, my own civilization, the West. And that's what this book is about, and it surprises quite a few people because the first 100 pages is about the West, and so I actually did thousands of hours of research, a couple of years of research about the West, and that's the first part of the book to use as a compare and contrast, comparative analysis between the West and the East. And for the West, it was not a pretty picture. I was really shocked at everything that I learned. It's wonderful. It's a great book. It's published by Punto Press. And the editor is Patrice Granville from the Greenville Post, and because he maintains my website, China Rising to Sinoland, I donate all of my royalties. It's not a lot of money, but this book is actually sold not as well as 44 Days, but it's actually sold, I don't know, a couple of thousand, 3,000 copies. I highly recommend it. It's, people that read it go, gosh, I wish I'd known about this, before, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. I was, about 56 years old when I finally figured it out. So it's book number 2 of the China Trilogy. And then the next book that came out, now understand this book is no longer available. The China people write me, I'd like to buy China's Communist, damn it. It's no longer available. It was being published by Badak Mira, and as you can see, there's a foreword by Andrei Vlecek, may he rest in peace. And it's it's almost like a textbook on everything about China. In fact, Raman Mazaheri, who has written his own books and is a journalist for Press TV, says this should be the textbook for everyone in the West. However, I decided later, and Badak Mir agreed with me, I took back the publishing rights of China's Communist, damn it, and I reformatted it a little, updated it a little, and it is now what you will see on my author page with Amazon. It's now the big red book on China, Chinese history, culture, and revolution, and so it became a trilogy. The 3 books, it became a trilogy. And it is, it took me 3 books, 16 years, I wrote 1,300 pages, 16 years, traveling and living on the streets and traveling on the roads all across China to finally figure it out. And this book does, it just kind of, takes everything a little bit further along. And all of my books, the China Rising has 125 visuals. This book has 100, I think almost 200 visuals. So all of them are very, very informative, not just to read, but there's a lot to see visually. All three books have concordance pages, so that if you want to, there's a hyperlink listed in each book, so that you can go to that particular hyperlink page, and see all of the visuals in full color on your computer screen or on your phone. So anyway, people who read the China Trilogy tell me that they feel like they got a PhD in Chinese studies, and I think it's a wonderful way to learn about China, the Chinese nation, the Chinese people, and their amazing 5,000-year-old story from their voice. And I think that's what I finally was able, through these 3 books, I was able to tell the China story through the voice of the people in English for all English speakers. Hope you get them. They're on Amazon. And this video below, I'll put the 3 links, and then after you read them, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Then finally, the actual first book I wrote is Dr. Wright Reads Treasure Trove to Great English, and it's just a nifty little book. It's got all some tables for adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, pronouns, verbs, irregular verbs, helping verbs, hard spelling rules. I mean, you name it. It's just a wonderful little book to keep on your desktop if you have any question about grammar or this or that, prepositions, the whole bit. It's all here, and I've used it with hundreds of students, and it really does work. And if you get in the habit of referring to it when you have a question, about, grammar, syntax, where to put this word, where to put that word. This is definitely the this is the third edition, and I guarantee you it's money well spent. All right. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you all read and or give the China Trilogy as a gift, and brush up on your English. You'll be glad you did. Bye-bye.